There's no doubt in the UK that cod is still our favourite fish. And I think over the last 3 or 4 years, and quite rightly so, we have been concerned about fish stocks. And all of our focus has been on the North Sea. Well, I've travelled out to Norway to meet a couple of fishermen out here and look at how they've managed their fish stocks in Norway. And I've been absolutely amazed at what I've discovered. Now, I'm on board a boat called the Carisma Star. She's long line fishing out in the Barents Sea for cod and haddock. Now, the benefits of fishing like this are just absolutely immense. I mean, it's such a low impact way of fishing. There is no damage to the seabed. They're using large hooks, so they're not catching any immature fish at all. The quality of the fish is second to none when it's boiled over. It's processed and frozen within 4 hours. Now, the bit that really has amazed me is not only have the MSC certified that the cod fishery and haddock fishery is sustainable, they've also certified that the herring fishery is sustainable too. Now, the importance of that is that the herring are used as bait to catch the cod, so you've got this whole circle of an ecosystem being amazingly managed. And I was talking to one of the fishermen earlier, and he was saying that what they're into out here is multi-species management, and they reckon that the cod stocks have actually got too big, and when cod stocks get to a certain size, they're cannibalistic. So they are now in a position where they've just got these hugely rich fisheries, and over 1 million tonnes of cod are taken out of this fishery. I mean, it's a staggering amount, a huge amount, bearing in mind that the North Sea only has a quota of 40,000 tonnes. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. I've been on board the boat for a couple of days and I've tasted the fish as it's come out and seen it processed, and you know, if we want to eat fish for the future, we have to accept that we are going to be eating frozen fish. And you know, I can tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. The quality is absolutely fantastic. The most frustrating thing about it all is when it's landed, it's still traded as a commodity along with trawled fish. And the reason being is that the supermarkets and the big retailers always want to buy their fish cheap. So this headed and gutted fish goes off, gets lost in a supply chain somewhere, ends up on the supermarket shelves, and nobody ever gets to know the effort that has gone into this. And you know, one of the sad things this fisherman said to me, he's invested £30 million in these 2 vessels. And he said, I'm going to give it another 2 years, and if nobody catches on to the fact that I'm catching these things sustainably by hook and line, I will be forced to go back trawling, which would be a disaster. I mean, trawling is, you know, scooping the fish discriminately out of the sea, the quality isn't as good, and nobody wins. And it's just amazing that with all the communication that goes on in the UK about cod, we always hear the bad news, we never hear the good news. And you know, this is good news. I am left in absolutely no doubt at all that we will have fish for the future, that we will have cod for the future. And it's people like this that, you know, they're heroes. These people are really doing something about the environment. And I think that, you know, we're too hung up on the artisan, you know, the little guy that goes out in the morning and catches his fish. We think that's the future. Well, it's a very romantic idea, and there is absolutely no doubt the fish off that small fisherman is the finest in the world, and it's brilliant, but it's not changing anything. These guys are not only catching fish, they're changing. They're changing the way we do things. They're driving habits. You know, it's the future. It really is the future. So we shouldn't be put off by these large vessels that are long lining. These guys are doing everything they can to minimise the impact on the fishery and to ensure that we have cod stocks for tomorrow. It's an amazing thing, and I'm amazed in the UK that we don't read about this more often.